Okay, so we're going short at the market right here. I like the sell side. I liked it lower too, but unfortunately they popped them up on us. So we're short 47.50. And let's see if we can get him back down to 41 again, which was that key number. Let's see if they can just lose this area. If I'm going to be right and the market's going to generally deploy weakness today, let's see if they can roll them back down and start losing ground here. It might be a little bit of a grind, but let's see if they can lose ground here after hitting the center of the opening range and work their way back down to the bottom of the opening range at 350 and even break that and go back to that key 41 number from earlier. That's actually the plan in this. It's almost like a semi-swing trade, but we're just going to hold for the full amount because it's not like a swing trade pattern. I'm just looking for the market to, I'm looking at this as being an artificial upside rig here, kind of a Monday rig where they just tried to bust out of the congestion. And the riggers, as I mentioned earlier, the riggers are trying to just turn this into some kind of positive thing for their globalist candidate in France, and the market really isn't responding in that way at all. So let's see if the weakness can come back in. They can fade this move up to 47.75 here, which I really didn't expect them to do. You can see it was all done with artificial spiky stuff, which is usually a sign of rigging. And let's see if they can take this thing back down to start down to the 45 area where they kind of launched this little spike, and then breaking 45 down to 350, then hopefully cracking them back down to that last all-time high before this morning's new all-time high, which was way up here, 52. All right, so stay ready to jump out. A trade is a trade is a trade. Let's see if we can get our 47.50 to roll back here, start fading out a little bit, and lose some ground. It's a weird day too. I mean, it's starting out. It's Monday. They had some nice flow going earlier. I was watching the first half an hour, and then they just got into this kind of stubborn market that wouldn't go down. Remember, trying to get 40, and we're trying to get 40 to break, and they just wouldn't let it flow to the downside, and it just stayed choppy, and we were trying to work 40, and they hit it twice, and wish I would have grabbed that, but I thought we were really going to get more of a downside flow. I think from this level we could get that going again for a move back to 40, maybe breaking lower. So we're just watching now to see if this last fake pump up here to 47, 48 can lose ground, and the market can start to slide back lower, starting with 45 area, and then cracking 350 is going to be a pretty important. Or always have to look at the other side. You can't be one-sided based on how you want it to go, but you have to have an open mind that the other side may take precedent. And I was going to say, or that they're going to resist letting the thing drop back to 350 to the bottom of the opening range from the early weakness, and they're going to try to prop the thing up above 48 again and try to give it a little heave-ho up to this all-time high at 52. They may try to play games again and try to ramp that up. I rather don't think so based on what the indicators are telling me, but let's just see if they can get them down and break down 45 first. That price can slide back down to 4,500 area and lose ground without going into too much of a boring, choppy kind of volume. Look at the volume. Here it is so early in the session, and they're already down at dead levels here. 150 average contracts or lower is just dead in the water market, and that's what we're getting today. It's a weak, tepid response to the Riggers candidate in France, and that's just a big whatever. But if we can slide them down, we're getting a nice slide down to 45, which was our goal. 45 half to 45, and then breaking 45 and then cracking 44 is going to really help our case for a lower move, and we're going to target a move back to 41. Not quite 40, but just to move back to 41 would be a nice slide and a sign that the markets probably would break 40 that time and start working a lower move. So we'll see if we can get them out at 41, and then if that is the case, I'll try to reposition the short side again on maybe a bounce off of that if it happens that way. That's the way I'm trying to view the chess game here. Let's see if that happens for us. 41 even, target on a pullback with the prices breaking 44, and then 350. Ooh, that's a real key. 350s, that's that bottom of the opening range, that white line right there. Look at that 350. If they fade back under that, that means they're once again rejecting the opening range, which is a bearish sign. Holding under 350 says the prices are rejecting the opening range. They don't believe in it. They don't think it's a valid opening range. They don't think it's fair value. Now, it just so happens right now at this moment, our boomerang fair value line, which is thin orange line, it's actually an ongoing, living, breathing fair value line. And I created that as part of boomerang. Look at them cracking 350. They're just rejecting 350 like it was not even valid at all. Let's see if we can keep doing that. Let's take them down a little lower here, trying to crack 350, hold 350 back and knock them down to 41 here as a slap in the face to the morning riggers here. But let's see if we can take them down first. We haven't got 41 yet, but we're trying to hold for it. Let's see if we can crack, see them take the pressure down under 250, knock them down under 2 and knock them down to 1 even. There's our 1 even. Boom, we got 1 even there. Filled it 1 even, so that's a good deal. Now we're going to watch for a spring back of some sort. Now they may go down and hit that 38. Remember that 38 we're looking for? Why couldn't they do that? Well, they had to rig them up first here. And look at the crash here. So good call on our taking the center. Now, don't you love these opening range lines that I put in here for you? Those you knew the room could be pretty exciting to see that. Look at that, exactly moving up to the center there and then crashing. Watching now to enter back into the sell side here is what I'm doing. Looking for move back into the sell side here if we can pop the market up. And I'm kind of estimating the 250 to 350 area. So I'll do the math in that other one later in a second here. But it truly was a nice trade. It was a 6.5 point gain on that market. Let's see if we can get this thing back up around 43 to go short again, to re-enter the short side. I promised you I'd do that. So we're going to stick with that and see if we can get that 43 action area going. 150, 40, yeah, we're still looking for a pop back possibly to the 43 area. They might collapse here. I mean, here's what they said to the riggers. I don't want to say what they said, but that's what this move just said to the riggers. Look, we don't buy it, and it's fake, and we don't like it. Let's see if we can get them back. I'm targeting 43 to 43.50 to reshort the market here. Stay ready. Let's see if they can pop them back up over 150 to start. Anything above 150, I'm going to be watching for a short. But let's see if we can try to get them closer to 43. Anything's possible. And then I'll do the math on that last trade. But we got to pay attention. I want to get right back in on the short side here if we can just get a pop back up to 41.50 or higher. But I'm kind of targeting right now. I'm targeting 43. I think with a little patience it might happen for us here. They did get rather they got sold out. Don't want to get in too early. I'm not mega bearish because usually crashes like that will have some kind of reversal resolution, and then the market decides which way it really wants to go. And if they just get crunched from here, then we'll just reconfigure from that. Let's see if we can get them back again, targeting 42.50 now. These prices are always moving and breathing. They're live, living prices. We lost the fair value number. Where'd it go? Is it buried under opening range or something? What the heck's going on? What the heck happened to our... Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Turned white, the bearish color. Orange is bullish, white is bearish color. So the orange line turned white in line with the bias moving lower here. Okay, we got 40 going. Still targeting 42. Stay ready to go short. Trying to get 42 or higher right now to go short. Like the short side, not a problem. Just trying to get 42 or higher. Short them. Oh, the riggers are mad. They got hammered. They got taught a good lesson for playing games with the market. Usually they win though, so let's face that. All right, trying to get 42 going here to go short. Do we want to put a limit in? Maybe 2/4. Just stay ready to go short anytime here. I'm trying to nail them at 42 even right now. Yeah, let's use a limit. What the heck, 42. See if it works. I don't like limits usually. I like to just get in at the market. But let's use a 42 limit to go short here. 42 limit to go short. We got the limit in there now. You can see it on your chart trader here on the screen. 42 limit. We're trying to get them short. I may go short at the market anytime, and I'll just cancel out the limit. But let's see if we can get that 42 limit in there. Pop them up there. Doesn't mean they'll stop there, but that's a key number I've got right now. So if they are able to ramp them up there, I'll be very happy with that short. Even if they jump up to 45, it'll just be like, hey, I still liked 42. But let's see, I don't know. I'm not getting sell signs. That last little lift up there might have been it for going short. I hate to say it, but I had to get my number. Based on what I'm seeing, I had to get my number first. Rather have my number and miss a trade than just jump in on something. See, they can pop them here. No reason why they can't pop them a little bit for us. Still like 42. It's Monday, so there's still a little juice left to try to get the market higher. It's just, even in a bear market on a Monday, you can often get the market to jump up, try to make a move for the first 2 hours. So it's only the first hour and a half of trading, so maybe, just maybe, they're going to try to pop them up a little more again. Right now we rather hope so, because we want 42. Love to be short at 42. But they're struggling to give us that. You can see they're struggling to give us 42 here. Go ahead and go short right here at the market. Go short at the market at 41. Pop out the 42. Take out the 42, and we shorted them there at 41. There's 41 again, and went short at the market. I had signals. I took them prior to the 42. We never saw 42. We saw 41, which is right when I called him. Mason got 41. Great job as always, Mason. So we're short at 41, which is where we left off, where we covered up our 47 half short for plus 650 gain. Put us up plus 2 points. and now we're short at 41. And we're kind of hoping here they're going to not get too exuberant here, but rather roll back into the sell side, lose 40, and our target, they look at that. Even after that hard break, they never hit 38. There's something weird going on here. Let's put it in at 38 for now. We got to manage this current trade because they are trying to pop back higher, but there should be resistance up here, and we're going to watch for them to go down back, lose 40. The idea of this chess move I'm trying to make is that they lose 42 here, go back to 40, lose 40, and start pretty much getting comfortable under 40, not try to push 350 again, which is the bottom of the opening range, which they might. The riggers might say, we're not giving up yet. We're going to try to jam them back to 350 and get them going. But my idea here is they're going to lose 42. We're going to lose 40, and the market's going to get comfortable being in the 39s, 30s, 41, 56, 39, lower, in other words, the 30s. That's my idea. And then when and if they do that, getting them back under 40 and get comfortable in the 30s a little bit, that they'll slide them down to 38. That's all we're looking for. We're scalpers and proud of it, and that's what we do. We just try to go in and chip off points here and there and pile it up to try to get up to 8 points or so on the mini NAS and then stop for the day. On the crude oil, I got to pay attention to the NAS right now. I don't want to look away at another screen and have the thing spike against us. So, but you can see here, even though they didn't hit the Bollingers, I'm just trying to demonstrate to you how the new thing I'm using here today, which has been around for about 8 months, part of my roadmap package, it's called the price pressure bands. When this dash line crosses a white to the downside in this case, it puts pressure on the sell side. So you can see, even though we didn't hit the Bollinger Band on this white line here, which is the normal method we wait for, the price pressure bands and right here the crossover of the filter suggested I could have gone ahead and shorted this anyway with the matching DTBs. Was this a second level trade? It was a quasi second level crude oil short, quasi. But I could have taken that into account, combined that with the fact that the price pressure bands were saying sell pressure, the cross under here of the white crossing under the orange, and I could have taken this trade, and you could have seen it could have been a 10-point winner. So it's a little bit of a modification of the method. It's really an enhancement of the method using these two new filters, which are part, again, of the Boomerang Roadmap package, a low-cost add-on package to Boomerang Day Trader. And it would have paid for itself, by the way, in that one trade. So, and then you own the thing for life, and you're going to make literally thousands of trades over your lifetime. So, definitely worth the money. Well, guess what? They took them down to 40 half, and they're playing games popping them back up here. So we're a little bit under the gun here, that they went down, just dipped right under our price, and they're kind of popping them back. So stay ready to jump out. However, I still think we're in a weaker trend mode here. So we're going to watch to see if they can lose 40, get in those 39s, and start losing ground. And we're looking for a dip down to 38. 38.75 was the last low. They're slightly turning into a little bit of a bullish kind of micro trend. Not bullish. I hate to use that word because we're just talking about micro moves, but a buy micro trend here. Let's see if they can lose that, flop them back down under 41, resisting 43, hopefully. But like I said, the riggers may have some goofy idea that they got to try to re-push the bottom of the opening range there. That's what they do. They're riggers, and they know if these prices hold under 350, it's a weak sell sign. It's a weak sign for the market. Got the Dow down 11. Let's see if they can get that Dow down 30 or 40 here. Let's see if they can start doing that by knocking this Nas down lower. Um, Overall, Nasdaq spot neutral, but neutral overall. We're just looking to see if they can flop back under 40 and kind of get used to being in the 39s to start, and then just sort of, because of the nature of the market day, maybe they just slow grind them lower. On the 450 ticks, we got matching DTBs, a tap here on the Bollinger Band, but that was prior to the sell channel, and just kind of, a sell pattern. Let's see if that can catch fire and they can knock this thing down under 40 and start punching them out on the downside a little bit here. Again, it's a weird, choppy market, and we're hoping that at this point or sometime very soon they can lose ground, start to weaken under 40, 56.40. So far you can see they're hovering right at my 42 number, which in hindsight would have been nice to have gotten that. We got 41. That's okay. I went to the market, and they have just since then not responded. Even though we have the DTB set up for a weaker market, they're just kind of floundering here around 42 and not really dropping them down lower. There's a bit of a concern here that they're going to try to press 350 again. That's what riggers do. They know that if the prices hold under the bottom of the opening range at 350, it sends out a message of weakness. And for all this bullishness, you'd think the market would just make a couple of days of minus 80, $100 Dow day. They're just totally blocking that. The riggers are totally blocking the market having sell-off days. It's so unnatural. The Trump train ran out of steam, I think, a couple weeks ago, and the riggers have been in here propping this thing up and pushing it higher and pushing new highs. They did it again today. And it's kind of embarrassing. Like, people are so dumb, and all these billionaire hedge fund managers are so dumb they don't see what's going on, that markets aren't pulling back at all. It's ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with pullbacks. It's very good for the market. I mean, what's the best thing to do after going on a Christmas feast for 2 weeks of parties and Christmas and a lot of food? What's the best thing to do at the New Year? Have a little fasting, drink a lot of water and take a few days off, drink some lemon juice, lemonade. You know what I mean? In other words, kind of just it's similar to the markets. They get fed, and they take a little pullback. They just have a little, little period of evening out a little. Let's see if we can get them going under 40 here. This thing should really be willing to slide under 40 and get hit a little bit. You get a Dow down 30 or 40, it'd be normal. And let's see if we can get that going and get our 38 going here. Let's see if we can get rid of 40 here. Doggone 40. Let's get rid of this 40 here. I got the signs coming in that they can lose 40, and we're going to target a dip down to 38. We're just scalpers, so we're although it could be a bigger move. Let's see if they can lose 40, get in the 39s. We got that going so far. So far, our chess move is panning out, but let's see if it holds out. Get them in the 39s. See if the riggers can just get rid of their fantasy of pushing the thing back over 43.50. Let's see if we can get them in the 39s, hold them in the 39s, lose some ground here and knock them down to 38. 38.75 so far has been the low. So hopefully they won't dip down there and stall again. But I'm watching for this thing to get going under 40 and hit 38. The chart patterns improved for a sell side move. We got the 450s on our side. Let's see if we can get the riggers to just sit on their hands a little bit here. Stop propping the market up and just, let them slide. Who knows? They may not be willing to do that. They're already kind of experiencing a case of sour grapes because their French globalist guy didn't cause a big giant market rally. They were kind of hoping for that. Didn't happen. So, but now what they're going to try to do based on that not happening and them having a bad case of sour grapes, odds are they're going to do everything they can to prop up the market from making a stronger drop today. Because a real slap in the globalist face would be to have a Dow down 100 today or something like, here's what we think of your globalist nominee in France. you know. So let's see if we can get him going under 40, get him in the 30s, get him comfortable in the 39s to start, and then let's see if they can work him down, grind him down to 38 for us here. Trying to get him to grind in the 30s, grind him down to 38. 38.75 is the last lower dip. Let's see if the riggers can just not play games and take 38.75 and try to re-pop it up to 42. So far, it's in a sell pattern. I think there's going to be some pressure on taking out 38.75 to 38 at least. We're just looking for that micro move to 38. There's 38.75. Now, come on, riggers. Don't play games and start popping it back over 40, 41. But that may happen. They just hit 38.75 again. We're looking for 38 even. It's a small move. And, I could have taken them out at 38.75, but frankly, the whole pattern here suggests they can move lower. So we're going to try to stick with it. In fact, let's move it right down to 36.75. We were targeting 38. I'm moving it down to 36.75. There should be a magnetic pull down to 36.75 in a bearish toned trend here, micro trend move. So we just moved our limit from 38 to 36.75. So if all of a sudden now they get crunched here and they lose 38, there could be a selling pile on. So that's what we're watching for. Watch 38.75 to get taken out, then 38, and then we watch for a selling pile on, hopefully under 38 down to 36.75. So if we get 38 going, and they're still struggling with it, the riggers are still trying to keep 38.75 alive. We can just lose that, get 38 out of the way. There should be a selling pile on, and if we get a hard fast dive down to 37, I might just click my exit button, but odds are if that happens, still a big if, we will see 36.75. There's a magnetic pull down to that number right now. There's like a magnet trying to draw it down, and as a magnet turns up the magnetic force, it should pull it down to that number. Let's see if we can break them down under 38 and get that going. Let's see if we can break them down, get that 38 out of the way, and under 38, let's see if they can crunch them down to 37 like a real fast kind of move. They're still trying to prop them up, though. I think that there's still a possibility the riggers are going to come in here full sour grapes mood. like little crybabies and come in here and try to reprop 38.75 again. It's a concern. Yeah, look at that. That's what they're doing. Still, we got the sell mode here. They're just being, like I said, they got a bad case of sour grapes because their globalist appointee in France didn't cause a big giant rally. So let's see if we can knock them down. Breaking 38.75, breaking 38 for a hard squash down to 36.75. That's the plan. Let's see if we can get them going here. If the riggers will stop propping, the market will start dropping. There's no volume. There's 207 contracts trading. We're not talking about the riggers here in the mini NAS. They're working the cash NASDAQ market. But you can see it propping up the mini here. The prices are going to reflect in the mini as well. The indexes are all correlated, so just because it's a smaller volume deal, there's correlation in the algorithms and the prices and everything. Let's get that 38.75 out of the way once and for all. Crunch them down to 38 and then take out 38 and let that natural magnetic pull of the markets bring it down to 36.75 for us. Should be happening. I think we're in gear for it. We just got to get these riggers to stop propping up these lower prices here. They got a bad case of sour grapes, and that'll teach them a lesson. But we just need to see. They're going to try to block a sell-off today. They couldn't get a rally going. They tried a little bit before and stopped us out of that one trade, but that's no big deal. Now what they're trying to do is prevent the market from sliding and down much. Like they're probably going to even try to block a down 30 type day, which appears to be what they're doing now. Crude oil's taken off. I can't talk about crude right now. We're in this trade, and we got to see if we can see if my play is going to happen here. 38.75 break, and let's get 38.75 out of it. We still can't get that damn 38.75 out of the way. These riggers are really propping this thing up here. Got to get 38.75 out of the way, then nail 38, and then blast 38 on a magnetic pull down to 36.75. That number is still good. That's why I'm keeping it in there. Let's see if we can lose 38 and get a harder sell crunch, a little selling pile on under 38, driving them down. If they drive them down real fast to 37, we'll take it. If they slow grind under 38, we'll try to hold that for 6.75. They're still playing propping games here. These riggers are really got a bad case of sour grapes, and that's a concern because they got the money to rig the markets. So they're getting a little upset here, but let's see if we can get 38 to break and get a hard pile on and a magnetic pull down to our number there at 36.75. The riggers are making it harder than it should be. The natural sellers that are out there would love to get this thing lower, but the riggers are trying to fight it. Let's see if we can break them down, trying to crack 38 here for a stronger drive down under 38 for a selling pile on. It should be in the cards. Let's see if we can get it going here. Absolutely unbelievable that this thing isn't sliding harder by now. I can only repeat again what I've been saying, why that's the case. It's one thing to have riggers, but it's one thing to have a case of riggers with a bad case of sour grapes. It's a double-edged sword, It's like a cornered raccoon with her babies. I live in a wooded area here, and sometimes you run into a raccoon and she's got her little babies there. Oh, she gets vicious. You better not. You better just move away because she'll attack. And that's how the riggers are acting here. They just, they thought they had a big rally in the bag here. They pushed that new all-time high today, and it just fizzled right out. And then that last trade we got in got crunched real hard on that spike here. You can see this big spike. So that gave them a real bad case of sour grapes. And that's the concern here because we're short and they're not letting 38.75 go. It's rather disgusting because it's so artificial. There's a magnetic pull down to 36.75 and they're not even letting that happen. They're blocking it. Even on super low volume, 200 contracts trading, they're blocking the magnetic pull here. You can see them doing it on every tick. All right, let's see if we can get 38.75 to crack once again. Get 38 going, get that downside pressure on 38, and then see if we get a selling pile on. You can see, damn, these stupid idiots. They keep trying to pop it up. It's like, just like I said, a bad case of sour grapes. Rather than let it drop, let them push it back up, but they're just not letting the magnetic pull down there fulfill itself. I still think it's coming, so let's be patient here. Let's be patient. Remember what happened on that last move right here. There's 38 coming in, so let's see if we can get them going. 38 cracking. Watch for a hard pile on down to 37, and then we get that 675 going. Go ahead and cover them up there. Okay. Right when I said to cover, they blasted right through it. And again, a spike. The riggers finally said, oh boy, not much we can do. And maybe they're going to go lower, but we don't care at that point. Yeah, they're going way down to 35, but we don't care. We got our 36.75, and we knew that was coming, right? So it's just a matter of time, and then they hit them pretty hard here. So great job, you guys, for holding for that. It's a tricky day today. We're doing all the right things. I'll go over the crude in a minute and our new bands that we're using. I think to get you excited. It's a bonus feature for the room because you can trade right off our charts. Don't even have to buy Boomerang. You just trade right off our charts if you remember the room. So give me a quick second here and be right back.